Hello wonderful people and welcome back. This video is titled Groom Interrupts Pastor to Read Bride's Texts. Let's get into this. This clever groom waited for the perfect time to act out his revenge on his wedding day. After discovering what his new wife had done to him, he took matters into his own hands and plotted his revenge. With his friends and family gathered, he waited for the right moment to act out his plot. The guests at the ceremony couldn't take their eyes off the disaster unraveling before their very eyes. The bride and the groom have known each other since high school. They had been a couple for many years, and everyone thought they would spend the rest of their lives together. It seemed like the perfect wedding. The bride blushed, the groom looked excited, and everything pointed to a happy future for the couple. But before the confetti was thrown to wish the new couple a lifetime of bliss, the guests had to sit through the surprise of their lifetime. It's a famous line, one everyone in the US knows when it comes to weddings. It's the line usually used by the priest or pastor, and it boldly asks guests to speak now, or forever hold your peace. Usually, this raises some eyebrows and causes some smiles, but nothing more. What would happen if someone did stand and proceeded to say something? What if someone rose up to say they knew something compromising about the bride or the groom? And what if it wasn't someone from the audience that spoke up, but the groom? The guests didn't realize the smile on the groom was fake, his vows to his new wife were fake, and he was about to reveal something huge to the crowd. The groom happened to have learned something devastating moments before the wedding, but kept things under wrap as he plotted a way to get even with his new bride. He was ready to speak out, but he waited for the right moment with the utmost patience. Things were about to reach a new level of awkwardness for everyone present, especially the bride. Hours before the wedding, the groom learned of a devastating thing his bride hid from him. Multiple sources confirmed his doubts and even received burning evidence that his wife-to-be was not what she seemed. Before we continue, if you like this video, please like, comment, or subscribe. We'd greatly appreciate it. Now back to the video. The wound deepened when he learned that more people close to him were also involved. With his mind blown and heart crushed, the groom couldn't believe what was happening. He was about to marry what he thought was the woman of his dreams. He was overwhelmed with emotion as he tried to figure out exactly what to do. As rage swelled in him, he knew he had to keep his composure and carry out his plan. With revenge on his mind, he figured out the best way to serve it was cold. He believed that she deserved every ounce of his anger. The entire time, the groom remained calm and collected, playing his role perfectly. Simply looking at his new wife made him sick in the stomach, but if he wanted his revenge, he needed to push through if he wanted to see his plan to the end. Keeping his cool, he pretended that everything was fine. While his friends and family were listening to their vows, the groom came up with the perfect plan to expose all the bride's dirty secrets at once. He wanted to see his new wife's face when he exposed her for what she was. For his plan to work, the groom needed to know exactly where the men who took part in his wife's devious acts were seated. Before the ceremony, he slipped away to the banquet hall to figure out where they would be. He wanted to make sure that they would be exposed for who they were at the same time as his new wife. Once the groom located the men who had wronged him, he placed a red sticker under their seat cushions. But the groom knew if his plan was going to work, he needed to keep a straight face through the entire ceremony. The men and the new bride were about to assist in the biggest revelation of their lives and be exposed to everyone there. As the ceremony took place and the guests took their assigned seats, the groom raised his hand when the pastor asked if anyone had anything to say against the couple. As the crowd settled, the groom stated how he had an announcement. Before he continued, he asked his guests to look under their cushions to see if they had a little red sticker on the seats. Those with the sticker were asked to remain standing. The guests looked around, confused, but everyone followed his peculiar request. With tears in his eyes and a crooked smile on his face, the groom announced that the men standing all had an affair with his wife. The crowd gasped in awe as the men's faces turned white. He even had texts to prove it, which he read in front of everyone. Although the groom was clearly heartbroken, he enjoyed every second of exposing them. The groom did exactly what he planned to do despite the pain it caused him. Everyone was stunned as the groom kept going. The whole thing caused quite the commotion. The groom went on to say that he couldn't get married anymore. He couldn't be with a cheater. The fact that the groom went through the ceremony simply to see the looks on his new wife's face and those she slept with was enough for him. It was time to put an end to it. The bride began bawling hysterically along with her parents. And as the groom turned to his mortified new wife, he took a last look at her and left without saying another word. Shamed in front of all her friends and family, there weren't any words that would console the bride. She was beyond devastated. She knew what she had done, and everyone's eyes were on her. Guests tried their best to shake off the awkwardness of the groom's announcement. All the life of the party went away as he exited the building. People would certainly not forget the wedding anytime soon. The way the entire thing played out makes one wonder if it was a display of creativity or simply a spark of insanity. What is clear is that a heartbroken man can do crazy things, especially when given enough time to execute his plan. He managed to turn his pain into something unforgettable that allowed him to expose his wife and destroy her completely in front of her loved ones. The wife didn't just sleep with one man, but several. And with at least one of them, she did it right before her wedding day. It was all in the texts he had. To make it worse, the men she slept with were all the groom's closest friends. The bride from the story got what she deserved in the most stunning way possible. Not only was the bride called out for her actions, but the men she slept with too. All exposed in one moment of sweet revenge for the groom. That's the end of this video. Thank you for watching. As always, if you like this video, please like, comment, or subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video.